Right. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Tech Talk with Terry and Elizabeth. I'm Terry Samuels and my gorgeous partner wife, Elisabeth. This is a weekly thing that we do on Mondays. So, like everything, like, share, do all the stuff so you can follow us on what we do with this thing. Today, we have one of our dear friends and one of the, I say one of the top people in our industry, Mr. Clint Butler.
Overrated.
So we're going to talk to Clint a little bit and talk a little bit about what's coming up here in the next month. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, any comments, anything, just please put them in the different channels, and then we'd be glad to get to them and answer them for you. So anyways, Elisabeth, how are you?
I'm good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Yeah, I don't know when we were thinking right when we picked this day to do our weekly podcast. Especially Monday morning. It's like, okay. But no, it's all good. So
I'll tell you why I picked it, and then maybe it'll resonate with you guys. Mondays, I just hate Mondays. Whether it's in my head or whatever, I just don't like Mondays. So the easiest thing to do on a Mondays is to hold a show and have a conversation.
That's awesome. I agree.
Times when I was doing my podcast, the only thing I did on Mondays was my shows.
Exactly. Are you doing that anymore?
Well, with Kim's cancer, I just got overwhelmed with everything, and so I just stopped doing that. I do the AMA with the SEO Intel folks, but we don't do that until 1.
Okay.
So
speaking of which, is how is Kimberly?
Good. All the radiation is done. She's got to wait a month to see what it did, and then she starts it's a year-long set of chemo, 1 week every month for 11 months.
Wow.
She'll be on chemo
and you guys can still do that down there in Yuma. You don't have to travel to do any of that.
Yeah, it's all in the house, like pills. She takes pills. There's no injections and stuff. Something about the blood-brain barrier. It didn't make any sense to me, but
okay. Well, of course, our prayers and anything you guys need, we're here.
Thank you.
Good morning, Skylar. How are you?
Skylar's from the South now, since he's saying y'all.
Y'all, morning, y'all.
All right. So tell us what's been going on, Clint. It's been a couple months. I mean, besides all the stuff that's going on. Are you doing much with AI nowadays? Are you doing much with getting in those rabbit holes?
Well, Mark from HOH, and he's going full crazy with the AI prompting stuff that he was doing, all based off of Stunspot prompting, that Discord group. So I've been, just kind of actually just following his lead in regards to what's going on with AI, really. And frankly, it's really just because I stopped the YouTube channel, my lead intake is down like significantly. But that's actually created some opportunities where I just follow in Mark's lead and what he's doing with the prompting and just using his prompting and then creating websites with it. That and Andrew Ainsley's Content Sprout.
Yeah.
Those two.
That's a pretty cool tool.
It's good, and InLinks is stepping up really good on their they have a content generator in there too, so it creates outline, and then how most of the tools, it creates outline, and it's kind of like you got to use all of it or none of it. InLinks is different. It creates the outline and then says, here's what we'll write about in these separate boxes, and then you just select the boxes and it spits out those sections. So I've been doing local landing pages with it, and it's been working pretty good.
That's cool. Awesome. Have you played with Zitsta very much?
Yep. I use that. Full disclosure, he's my business partner. So in rank gear. So I do have free access to it. It's not mine. We don't share that business, but he gave me free access to it. And I like it because the topical relevance thing that he remade. If you guys don't know, he bought topicalrelevance.com from Joe Priest. and then talked to me, and then made some refinements and stuff, and some stuff he saw like Jesper doing in his knockoff tool as well. So the Entity Explorer itself is worth the subscription if I was paying for it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I was playing with it this weekend. It's pretty freaking cool. And that's the biggest thing.
Not a paid sponsor.
Yeah, and I am not. Yeah, no, I'm not a paid sponsor at all. So I just, I obviously use Topical Relevance on a daily basis back when it was that. And then I knew he'd bought it. I knew he'd done some stuff with it and then added it to other stuff. But I never really found out too much about it. And I reached out to him. He said, "Here, yeah, go play with it." And so we got a pretty good subscription. And then obviously I wanted something to sell in our class or to, promote in our class, something that was an all around tool for content. And that's why I really like that one and they're all getting to be pretty cool. They're all getting to be, just obviously leaps and bounds of what we were doing a year ago. It's just, I had that question asked the last time I had a podcast. The guy asked me, he goes, "What's the difference between now and a year ago?" And I was like, content. That's, we're no longer ordering content and paying $15 for, 700 words and
yeah. Or $7 at iWriter for some junk that Skylar could write.
Exactly.
I just take that in there. Gotcha, Skylar.
Yeah, gotta take it in there. So that was awesome. So tell us about SEO Rockstars coming up in basically a month.
I think we're at 30 days now. I didn't check this morning. I haven't made my daily post to annoy my social followers, but I think we're at 30 days. November 4th is VIP day. For right now, what we have pretty well locked in is we're taking everyone out on ATVs in the morning. And then we're probably just going to do the whole standard, let's go drink in the afternoon, just, to be fair of what to expect. The value of the VIP day is really just you get one-on-one conversations with speakers and one-on-one conversations with the VIPs. The VIPs generally, because their investment is a lot bigger, are running successful businesses at one thing or another. So you get to have conversations with them, maybe make new relationships, etc. So that's the big value of VIP day. And then as a VIP, we're also going to have a VIP dinner, speakers and VIPs during the main part of the conference too, where it's just us again. So kind of expand on that relationship stuff.
Cool. Awesome.
And then the 5th, 6th, and 7th is going to be the general conference. Terry Samuels is going to be our MC. So
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm freaking, and it's, I've got to obviously reach out to the speakers like Joy. I don't know her very well. Some of obviously I know a lot of them, but I want to reach out and I'm hoping to have some fun with it and, kind of keep everybody going. The first Rockstars, it was 3 days. That was always 2 plus a VIP.
I think last year it was 3. I don't remember. I have a memory of goldfish, so I'm pretty sure. I don't know how we came to the decision of 3 days. So for those that don't know, Dory is eventually going to be selling SEO Rockstars, SEO Nitro, and SEO Intel to me, and I'll be taking over these businesses, hopefully. Then this year, the agreement is 50-50 split of anything we make, which right now is nothing. And then she's going to, teach me about the ins and outs of running a conference, because this is the 13th year that she's running SEO Rockstars, and she's always kept it deliberately small. So when I say 40 or 50 people are going to show up, people are like, "Wow, that's not very much." It's like that was her intent all along. She didn't want a whole bunch of people there. So this year, in that vein, I would prefer, obviously, for financial reasons, to have more people, but we're also down there, and we just booked the room for 60 people. So theoretically, 15, 20 more ticket sales, and we're maxed out. which is, I think is good.
And it's hard to change your room plans in Vegas, which I've learned. And
yeah, and then we got lucky. The conference room is only $3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. The couple of downsides of running a conference is making a lot of these big old decisions, and Terry knows, and Elisabeth definitely knows, because we pretend like we're doing stuff, and Elisabeth is actually taking care of spring training, for example. But conference room, and then the meals, and then trying to hopefully get sponsors. We're trying to get Go Level to sponsor all the lunches, right? And then getting the speakers and wrangling all of them. That was, it was interesting. I had one speaker say yes, and then he ghosted us, so I kicked him out. And the next thing you know, he's, he answers his messages. It didn't make any sense to me. So that kind of drama. And then on the back end is, do we want to live stream it? And I was always against live streaming conferences. Like, I see the numbers. For example, last year, Dory made $100,000 from SEO Rockstars. Most of that was selling the recordings.
Yeah.
So if we're just doing it from that perspective, then cool. Sell the recordings. If I was doing it on my own, I'd probably get the same guy that you did that created all the stuff for spring training, because he was awesome. And then offer the recordings straight up front, because I'd never been a fan of the old okie doke. Oh, we're never going to do recordings. We're not going to do recordings. And then the old fake email that we all see is, oh, Elisabeth Samuels talked to me, and she talked to me in the recording, so we're going to do it now. No, damn well I had the full intention to do it all along. So we had to work through that and make some decisions on that as a partnership, which is, that was challenging, but it's been an interesting experience. So,
for sure. I mean, I think, well, last year especially, we had live stream was a challenge, just because of, you're dealing with hotel internet, you're dealing with, we actually did it in 3 different rooms, and so yeah, it was one of the things, as far as a stress factor for me and Elisabeth, was those damn live streams.
Yeah.
If you're just recording, you're just recording. It's just a matter of turning the camera on and off, basically.
Yeah.
So the recording was better. Like 2023 for spring training was a lot smoother. There was less hiccups, less crazy shit in the last minute. The live stream was a lot more challenging. So, and I thought that the recordings that were put together were pretty good, because you could still see the PowerPoint, you could see the person on stage. I would say the biggest challenge that year was I had some issues with the hotel, and then you darn speakers kept walking around. So we're trying to follow you with a camera. So
I did. Yeah, I'll admit, I do like to walk when I talk, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All of you guys do, which is just totally fine if I have like a dedicated cameraman to follow you around. But I didn't, because, we pointed the camera at stage and nobody stood on stage.
For sure. I think the biggest thing, though, and there's obviously a lot more conferences now than, I think us and Rockstars 3 years ago, and SEO at the beach, I think that was it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I mean, a lot of people are back in the conference stuff, which is fine. I think people just need to realize what these events are for, and to have a purpose to go. If you go just to go and network, that's awesome. But if you go to actually learn something you're struggling with, and I mean, I used to go to conferences all the time. I'm still going to conferences for agency growth, because I'm not struggling with that piece, but there's certain parts of that, especially the front side, that we don't do a very good job of. I can't forecast how many leads I'm going to get per month. I don't have that system in place to do that, even though that's what we do for all of our clients. It's like, okay, yeah, I need to do what I need to do for myself, what I do for you. And but that's the whole thing about going to these things, is that's what we go there for, is to talk to people that are doing that successfully. And how are you doing it? All that stuff. And And then you come away and, the money you spend is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a minor thing, but now you can get a return on investment a much quicker way.
And like Ted points out, that that's all training for you, so it's all tax exempt.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
I think to your point is, Rockstars, SEO at the Beach, and SEO Spring Training were networking based conferences versus funnel hackers, traffic conversions, and all those ungagged. You're going there with 1,000+ people. You're not really, I mean, unless you're a social butterfly, which I definitely am not, then those conferences I would not get anything out of because they're just so damn big.
Yeah.
Whereas these smaller conferences are good. And then you have other competitors like Chiang Mai. It's a popular conference. He sells out the tickets a lot, but is it, from everything that I could tell, it's, one, if you're an affiliate or if you're a VA, then Chiang Mai is probably for you. Same with Saigon. You're in a VA, then Saigon's probably for you. But these US conferences are really enterprise level corporate stuff. And I think that's where Rockstar Spring Training and SEO at the Beach. I don't know if that's still going to happen next year or not. But those three were really for the community and engagement and actually getting ideas and getting stuff addressed. So
yeah. And then you also had the destination type stuff. You guys are back in Vegas this year. Which is awesome. I mean, I'm a Vegas fan anyways. I'm a foodie, so what better place to go than Vegas and New Orleans?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's cool that you guys went back to Vegas. You've done Boston, Dallas, Pasadena. Gosh, where else? Where were the big? I only went, I think Pasadena, or the 1 year before Pasadena was my first one, but I did the online. And Pasadena was my first live, or was it? No, it was Vegas.
No,
Vegas.
yeah, it was Vegas because
Vegas.
It was Hooters.
Mm-hmm.
Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters. I think Hooters was my first too. That was my first time ever speaking. But she's held them in Pasadena, Anaheim. She held them at her ranch.
Oh
when
yeah,
she first started. Yep. And then she started moving around the country and stuff. I've always wanted her to do one in Florida. Good decision. This year we decided not to.
Yeah, that's for sure. Prayers to all our Florida friends, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't even imagine. Like, I mean, they've not even taken a breath from the last hurricane, and they've got another one coming tomorrow. That is crazy. I can't.
It's going to hit the same area, I believe. And then I was watching some videos where we did Thunder Bay, where you guys held that first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that area got nailed. So if you can imagine all that sand that was out on the beaches or is all in their streets now.
Yeah.
And they're coming to get smacked again. So
yeah, it's I can't imagine. I don't know. It's as hot as Arizona is. That's kind of really the only thing we have to deal with is the heat.
Yeah, which I am definitely ready to be over with.
Yeah, 100%.
We had that nice week. It was everyone else is going to think I'm crazy, but it was 98 and it was awesome.
Oh yeah,
for like a whole week, and then it jacked up to 110 again. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think we're like 12 degrees above normal right now. It's like,
Yep.
Okay, we're done. Stop, please.
It's too hot, but I mean, it's better than the alternative. I don't want any major disasters. So.
Exactly. So.
No hurricanes, no tornadoes, no none of that.
So this is one of the questions I've always had about somebody. The only event we've done in Vegas was the Mastermind, and that was off strip in a house.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like trying to find a hotel? That's got to be a daunting task just to even start with.
Believe it or not, the people that are responsible for booking those rooms are the hardest people in the hotels to get a hold of.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. But depending on the hotel, like Caesar's not so easy to deal with. They're crazy expensive, and they have all these upsells versus where we're having it, which is at, I want to say it right because I always say it wrong.
The Plaza.
The Plaza. Yeah. I always say the Palms for some reason, but it's the Plaza. They were actually really easy to work with. And hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we want. Can you hook us up? And they did it. That's why we got the room. So I think it's
how did you find the Plaza though? Did you
I actually was looking around and I wanted to do different hotels because she's always been on that one side of the strip, which is fine if you like that one side of the strip, but you miss out on everything that's going on Fremont and all that, because walking and all that. So I was just looking around and I came up with the Plaza, but I really wanted Green Valley Ranch. Which is off the strip.
Yeah.
And it's it is a casino. It's in a really cool spot, but it's away from everything that you would normally go to Vegas see. You see something new. That's what my thinking. But Green Valley was crazy expensive. And Dory was like, look at the rooms. The rooms back when we booked the hotel at the Plaza were $87, 37 to 87 was the range. The rooms when we were looking at Green Valley were already at $250. So we were like, oh, well, I can't do that.
Well, and that's something you really have to pay attention to as conference hosts. That's something that one of the reasons why spring training this year is in Chandler is because we're saving 35% on rooms by getting out of Scottsdale.
Yeah.
So, that's something that we have to take into account of, it's not just the price of a ticket. It's the whole package that, you got to pay attention to. So Boston was crazy last year because of the price of the rooms back there.
Yeah.
And that was nuts. So
yeah, it was rough. That one was rough. I get it though. I mean, if you look at these trips, it's not like you're spending, I'm going to spend say $1,500 on a ticket to go to this conference. And then you realize, oh shit, now I got to fly there. So there's $500, and then I got to get the rooms. There's another $1,000, and then I'm going to eat. So there's, depending on how much you eat. Yeah. Well, eating's always our biggest when he's eating in the Terry, I'll buy you food. But there are some hacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Elisabeth loves that when he does
that. Yeah, that's the word. I love it.
But yeah, I'm cognizant of that. I think that's probably one of the things that I would work on if and when I do take over this business finally, is balancing the ticket prices and stuff, and probably changes the way things are done. Like I like VIP Day. VIP Day is awesome, but you guys don't have VIP Day for spring training, and you provide a VIP experience for everybody. Or at least, compared to a whole lot of other conferences, you would call it a VIP experience for sure. So I probably would eliminate VIP Day altogether. Maybe do the VIP, keep the VIP dinner. You guys did that 1 year.
Yeah.
And then put more into the old general ticket thing, increasing the value for everybody, and then maybe reduce prices a little bit to make it better. But that's easy to say. I never want to compete. I've never been one who wants to compete on pricing, because you're always going to get jacked up by somebody, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But at least we can get some value out of it, I think.
Well, and I think that's the big thing, is the general admission ticket has to be the one that's, that's the one that's going to sell the most, obviously. And, but
believe it or not, this year VIP is sold the most.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
But we have the VIP, and then we have the Tech Day, or Tech Mastermind, which we're going to kind of mix up a little bit this year. And we're actually going back to a 2-day conference. So I just, I did the third day for me was always, let's do something different the third day.
Yeah.
Something, like more networking based type of thing. Like my idea, I want to do New Orleans Mastermind again, and it's basically 2 speakers and let's go network. Let's go take advantage of one of the things that we never get to take advantage of is the location we go to. Like Boston, I never got to see downtown Boston and go to Cheers and all the stuff that I've always wanted to quasi go see in Boston. And the same thing happens, when we went to Orlando, and we just fly in and we go to the conference for 3 or 4 days. We fly out. It's like, dang it. So we're trying to, at least on our side, we're trying to figure out if we do more of a destination style thing, is what can we do with the destination, not just having a bunch of people in a room for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So, but I think you have to continually look at, just like you do. You guys do a different spot every year, which I've always told Dory she's crazy, but I respect that she did. But it's just, I think, now we just need to pay attention to, what else can we do that's kind of not really different, but something people haven't experienced yet, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, when you guys offered New Orleans, I was all excited about that one. Then due to circumstances, you had to change dates, and that kind of jacked me up. So yeah, if you do that again, I'd be all in for that one.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. So are you gonna now? Do you go up and, because Dory has a whole bunch of equipment she travels with? So do you have that equipment, or is she bringing the equipment to Vegas? And then how's your setup? I've always, again, setting up in a different location every year.
Yeah.
We have a storeroom, and we just bring everything from the storeroom to whatever hotel we pick locally. So,
yeah. Well, really, at the end of the day, for Dory's conference, it's on how do you do the live stream? So you need a camera and mics, and then mics so everyone can see, and then a slide projector. And I think she's got most of that stuff already from pre-investment. So,
okay.
So we'll be good there. I honestly, if I do it, I'm probably going to do a hybrid of it. I'm never going to do a live stream. Come or buy the recordings is kind of how I feel about it. Only because all the nightmares that I've seen Dory go through and you guys go through. Yeah. Last year, spring training, that sealed it for me when they hacked your website for no damn reason.
Oh yeah, that was a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, not doing the recordings. It sucks you can't come. I get it. It's expensive. You don't want to fly overseas or whatever, but just wait for the recordings. It's kind of how I'm going to do it. So, and doing that, we don't have to have so much equipment, really. So, and then we generally don't do level stuff.
So, talk to me a little bit about. Hold on, I'm trying to find what's the URL.
SEORockstars.net.
.net. Okay, so the .us is gone.
Yeah, I got rid of it because she did that conference competition. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And everyone ruined the brand, so I got rid of it.
Okay, I had a good backlink from there. So talk to me a little bit about how you kind of went about getting the speakers and seeing who you wanted to come and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you were obvious no-brainer. You were the easiest one to find, to be honest. And then I saw James Slattery and Brian Wyndham speak at SEO at the Beach, and I was blown away with those guys. I knew of them, but I never had a really good conversations with them. James and I think we're not besties or anything, but we've grown a lot closer, and he reaches out and checks on us all the time and stuff. So it's really cool of him. So he was definitely a no-brainer. Brian Wyndham, he's coming. He's got a authority website system that as soon as I take over SEO Nitro, if and when I take that over, we're going to implement across that entire network. And he's got the whole training and everything. So I'm just going to buy his training and send all the Nitro people through it and do that to the sites. So, and anyone will be valued from even just hearing his idea on content generation is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Cato, obvious choice. I mean, everyone's still, Sheets and AI, and Brian Cato's in there with that. So and he does the research, and he's a super nerd. So why not have him? Dan Kurtz, not very well known around the world, as it were, but when you're done listening to Dan talk, you're gonna be like, holy crap, things you can do. He's just doing with Make are impressive. I mean, there's plenty of people on YouTube talking about Make and stuff, but he's writing books with Make and that kind of thing. So, and then he's got access to some stuff that I haven't seen anyone ever talk about in regards to PPC stuff. I send my PPC leads to him just because he can do some things that I definitely can't, and I don't want to do PPC. So,
right on.
Brock's coming again. Looking forward to seeing and hearing him. He's going through some drama right now on his own Facebook page, but at the end of the day, he's my experience, my dealings with him is a good dude. So we're bringing him. Derek Pierce. Derek has been invited to SEO Rockstars for like the last 10 years, and he always said no. And he has, and he's public about this. So I'm not giving away his business. He's got a phobia of flying, and he's really nervous with crowds and all that stuff. Think like a super hyped up PTSD, for lack of a better description. And I finally got him to come. I saw him at SEO at the beach. It was close to him. It was easy to travel, and I saw him there, and I talked him into coming to Rockstars. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's going to probably talk about some AI stuff. But the full agenda is on the website. Eric Schwartzman, I don't know, many people know him. He is a published author. He's in the public relations space, and he's bringing over his public relations experience to getting leads. So think, was that agency Fat Joe, where they're creating infographics and statistics and then sending it out to journalists. Eric's been doing that for ages, and he's going to come talk to us about that.
Cool.
Gregory Ortiz, OMG style, he's coming. He's going to be doing some agency stuff. Randy's going to come and talk about press releases. Joy Hawkins, you mentioned. I was just throwing darts on the wall because I wanted to get some of those enterprise super white hat people from SEO Twitter. That's really where I follow Joy to the conference, and she said yes, and she's going to do some stuff about. She runs a very successful agency. She's got a U.S. agency, 38 people. And if you know how about paying people, 38 people is no small number for a digital marketing agency. She's bringing her lessons learned from the clients she lost, which I think is awesome. Richard Fong's coming. He's got a really cool mastermind. Some great people are in that. I get invited every once in a while, and then I say yeah, and then I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to talk about these guys, right? So I kind of puss out. But Richard,
yeah, I've been trying to weasel into that group for a couple of years now.
Yeah, and so I got him to speak, and everyone talks really highly of him. So I'm looking forward to hearing you say. Jerry West, I've been following him since my network marketing days, and I met him at a No Excuses Summit in Vegas, and I've been enamored by SEO and the idea of PBNs and all that ever since. So I really attribute my SEO career to Jerry West, because at the time I was paying like $3,000 for leads every month, and Jerry was like, "You guys are all idiots. Why aren't you doing SEO?" And like, he talks to you that way.
You need the tough love.
Yeah. So Jerry's going to be coming. He's going to be talking. He's got a set of test sites. He's really, before Kyle Roof, Jerry West was the guy that I knew that was actually doing testing. And he's got 900 domains. I think the copy says 700, but it's actually 900 domains that he does testing on, and then and runs businesses off of that. So he's a really smart dude, and look forward to seeing him again. Derek Wozniak, you guys know him. Smart.
He's been to our events, I think.
Yep. And he's really underground. If you're an ONG, you know Derek. Derek is the guy that was doing all the ranking for Cotton Grammar. So everything Cotton Grammar said, oh, we rank for this, we rank for that. Yeah, that was all Derek. He's humble and he says, oh, it wasn't entirely all me, but it was all Derek. So he's coming. Mike Merlino, you got to bring Mike to a conference if you want to wake people up. So that's what I brought Mike.
Okay, he does have valuable stuff to offer other than being emphatic and loud.
Yeah. But that's really why I brought him.
Okay.
And he's going to go on talking with branding. I think branding is really important now. If you've listened to any of the old, the stuff that's going around now about brand authority is important. And that's how you beat HTU. I don't know that this is necessarily true, but he applies it to maps, and he's been applying it since long before HTU, and he's been successful with it. So he's going to come and talk to us about branding. We got Elias out of Greece. He's coming to talk about Neo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then Stuart Vickers, the SEO Jesus. He got the name because he literally looks and dresses like Jesus sometimes. So he's coming, talking about some affiliate stuff. Adam and Chizzy is coming. He's going to be a good layer with Merlino on branding. Marty Marion, he's coming to talk about heuristics. It sounds technical and craziness, but Marty explains this stuff, and he's old school marketer. So all of us are SEOs. It is a form of marketing. Marty is an old school marketer. So I think Mad Men, and that's Marty. And that's what he brings to the table. So he's kind of mixing those two worlds together, and it's I'm looking forward to seeing him again. And then old Ted Kabitis, he's bringing some SEO testing stuff. I have to look at the agenda. I didn't memorize it, but I did do it. And I think I got Ted opening up the conference. So day one is you get the SEO stuff you're looking for right off the bat with Ted's testing stuff. Exactly. And then I mixed in the clients, maps, and stuff, and kind of made it so you're not, like how we made the mistake of having all the agency guys speak for one day, and that put everyone to sleep. So I was cognizant of that and mixed that in pretty good. And there's not a lot of rah, niche down and get leads and the same thing over and over again, crap that we've all been hearing over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
So everything that I love the way you set out the agenda for sure.
Yeah.
So that's always I have three people, you and Cato and freaking Chad helping me. So I don't like doing this stuff on my own because it's like I get, can I go last on Tuesday? And
when you're just thinking about the agenda, it's not necessarily hard. The hard part is getting the, hey, speaker, what the hell are you talking about? Right?
Exactly. Sure.
And then putting that together. But as you guys know, when you're running a conference, you got to build a website that converts. So now we got to figure out web design stuff. We have 2 different sales letters that essentially say the same thing that are on 2 different designs. You get the emails. So that's the one that Dory did. And then I have mine. And mine is I literally went to the big conferences and I was like, what are they doing in regards to web design for conversions? Because obviously they got a shit ton of people coming, so they must be doing something right. And we just kind of hybrided those, and that's how I came up with my version of the homepage. And then it took a little bit of Dory stuff and et cetera. And it actually, honestly, truthfully, I think it converts really well. Dory blamed the email results. And I'm being upfront for everyone because you guys all got to learn if you want to do this shit. Dory did when she did the emails and sent it to the page. It didn't. We got some sales, but it didn't convert in regards to what she was expecting. So she redid it, and there's that other version of the page that you get if you're on my email list. And there was no difference in the conversion. So I think I even might play around next year with having a landing page, a set of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I do like the logo
play
better.
out ugly to beautiful and see how it goes.
I do like the logo better this year. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I changed that and didn't tell her until it was up.
Yeah, I like it a lot better. It stands out now. So, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it stands out. It took me a little bit messing with it, and then we have a really good graphics person. She's not Elisabeth Samuels good, but she's pretty good working for us, and she knocked that out for me. And then we put it up, and then they gave it to Dory, so she was kind of okay.
That's cool. Oh, you got Jeff Lenny coming, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I missed him. I didn't have him on the page yet. But yeah, he's coming, talking about affiliate stuff.
Cool. Right on. So yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's not really funny because it's the shuffling we have to do with the speakers as it gets closer and closer.
Yeah. Well, it's easier when they give you a heads up. Adam, he's actually going from I think he's doing a birthday party to a conference to Rockstars and then straight to another conference. And so you gave me the heads up so I can give him a good day so he has some time where
For sure.
he's not struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah, but as you know, so far that's been the hardest thing was getting the speakers. And what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. And that's always the hardest thing. And I don't think anybody's come up with a magic way except for you're the first one I've seen fire people. I think you have to get that way. You're like, look, you have until this date or you're not speaking. That's the bottom line. And, and I think speakers need to be, if you want to speak, I've even now, Elisabeth built me this little package I just send to people that has, an image, a bio, and then different topics. And some conferences will tell me what they want me to speak at. And, but I do think it's chasing people is the most frustrating thing, especially when you're trying to announce stuff and get stuff promoted.
Yeah. From the speaker's side of it, we can tend to lean to the idea of, oh, you want me speaking at your conference because I'm so important. And then, oh, you got to cater to me. When that's honestly, there is a little bit of that. Just hypothetical, if I invite Terry Samuel to speak at Rockstars, it's probably because he's got a good list and he talks and he's got a good audience and he's probably going to, promote it to his group. And I can tell you that happens 0% of the time.
That's a big thing. Like, I always perceive that, okay, if you're coming to the event, you should, even if you get 2 or 3 people from your entire following or group, we could blow the doors off.
Yeah. But they don't do it. The only person that's done it, and I'm not bashing the other speakers, I'm just saying, the only person that's done it this year is Jerry. And he promoted it right off the bat before we even turned on the affiliate thing. So he did sell a couple tickets. Brian just signed up for the affiliate thing. Simon White is promoting it for us, but Simon's not even speaking.
Simon's just awesome. So.
Yeah. So back to the speakers and the selection is, I even fell into that trap. Oh, look how good I am. Dory had me speak at Rockstars. No, I'm famous, right? So kind of had that entitlement thing going on. And it's not really helpful. And I had to change the perspective is I don't really have this super big, I'm going to fill Rockstars audience. And so Harry invites me to speak at spring training or invites me to MC. That's an opportunity to get me out in front of other people. And if speakers will look at it in that perspective and think about that and then make it easier for conference hosts to actually get you out in front of people, you probably get invited to more stuff.
For sure. It's I purposely waited until the last 30 days this time. So I've done it sporadically here and there, but I like the 30-day push, especially when I don't see anybody else doing it very often.
Mhm.
Well, and also so many people wait till the last minute anyway, so
Yeah.
you catch a lot more the last 30 days than you do 6 months out.
Well, and it's cool that you only need like 20 to fill the room instead of like 80.
Yeah.
Like we were 30 days out.
Yeah,
So,
we
yeah.
had a big ass room for spring training, and you were making me worried. I never saw any of the numbers, but you were making me worried. I was like, oh Jesus.
Last year we learned from our mistakes last year for sure. So, and this year this year we're going way out of our network, even kind of hiring people to get this out to. There's tons of SEO people outside of our network that don't even know about spring training or Rockstars or any of these. They're just in their own little bubble and they don't really hang out at SEO Signals Lab and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've always been trying to figure out how to network outside. So I've been doing it local groups and like I got a Gilbert group that I announce it in when they announce the Small Business Saturday. I always talk about the conference and that type of thing. So, but I think that's the hardest thing is especially the speaker thing. That'd be great if you and I've been offered to speak, and they specifically said that I have to have a minimum of a 5,000 people database that I can market to for them. And I was like, wow, it's actually pretty cool. But they're also online, and their market share is like 20,000 people when they do their little conferences, their digital conferences. But and these aren't SEO conferences; they're just topical conferences. But but I just thought that was pretty interesting, and I said, well, I'd be honest with you, I don't have 5,000 people in my database. Sorry. Which we probably are close to that, but even still,
be after the digital agency scrape.
Yeah.
In that,
we're probably pretty close.
If you guys ever want to do cold email stuff, because I'm hitting it out of park, and the leads that we got from LinkedIn. We bought them specifically from List Kit, which is essentially they just hotjacked into LinkedIn. Those leads kind of suck. So we used Outscraper, and that's how we built. I built my cold email thing. And before I put Stories List in there, I was at 76% open rate. So definitely something for you guys to consider if you want to.
Yeah, I love cold email. That's how I started. I think that's how most of us started. I wasn't a phone call guy, so I would go to 20 church websites every single day, and I'd cold email their contact forms, and that's how I started, just freaking doing that.
Yeah,
so I think it's a lot now with High Level and these other tools, that can help you do that stuff better. ChatGPT is awesome at writing, 3 or 4 or 5 stage email scripts.
Yeah.
So,
well, the one that you're getting from my system, because you got it imported, that's all ChatGPT. And I essentially just gave it the rules from Autoresponder Madness. And if you ever followed him, Andre something, and that's how when he does sequences, he creates 7 interconnected emails, and that's how I had ChatGPT write those, essentially Autoresponder Madness style. So
right on. That's cool. Yeah. So are you going after certain niches in your email campaigns, or what are you doing and you're doing this for Digital Ear, right?
Well, Digital Ear I'm playing around with, because I'm actually going to do 2 things at the same time. I'm going to do, one, I'm going to scrape, and then 2, I'm going to do content lists, content boxes. What I'm talking about? We're going to hit those at the same time as doing the email. So it's going to come in all 3 directions or 2 directions. And then if they're really good, they'll actually start seeing me in their Google Analytics, because I'll be setting that up as a referrer and doing little mini audits, and that shows that Digital Ear will show up in their referral box if you set that properly. You can do it in Sitebulb. You can do it with Core if you want to. Core is longer, and then so that'll be 3 touches, and then if depending on how that goes, then I'm going to start doing postcards too.
Right on. Cool. Yeah. Are you using like Dan's Pixel or any of the Pixels out there to?
No. I mean, you tested it for spring training and it did okay. You built a decent list. My lawyers are doing okay with it. They're happy with it. But as anything, I wish it could be better.
Yeah, for sure.
It's honestly just cheaper to just scrape the sites and use Outscraper and scrape the emails and then do it that way than building that active list. Theoretically, I could plug in AdWords to the site and do remarketing to you, but
yeah, we're playing with Brian Hongs too. He's got a pretty cool one. So, yeah, I think he's the only one that's ever been to every Rockstar.
Yeah.
Dory had to give him a free ticket this year. This is lucky number 13. Any talk on when you guys are thinking about next year's Rockstars, or just you guys don't think that far in advance, one at a time?
Yeah, it's one at a time. It really depends how this transition goes. If I take over the business and stuff, then I thought of a couple of options. One is just go back up in the Phoenix metro area. You have spring training and Rockstars in the same place, because we're all so close anyway. It just kind of makes sense to do them both up there. And you have spring and the fall, and you're good now. You got everything covered, right? And then the other ideas I had was, as you mentioned, bouncing around is kind of do want to bounce around a little bit. Do one in New York City, do one in Boulder. There's a big community in Denver, maybe Austin if I can get over the ick of going to a Democrat city. In Texas.
Last time I went to Austin, I left a day early. So
Yeah.
I get it. So I've been asked a couple times to do one in Canada. So like up in Banff, something up there.
Banff would be awesome.
So obviously it'd be you won't get a general admission for $500 at Banff.
Yeah, that would be.
But yeah, no, I think
$500 in Banff.
Yeah, and then maybe we do the SEO spring training Rockstars cruise.
Nice.
I also thought about that because they had that marketers cruise that Mike Filsame did. I mentioned it one time and someone said he was still doing it, but I could never find any reference to it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it for sure. It's not on Facebook anywhere if they're doing it.
I can't imagine the logistics of that, though. Like, obviously, you're not going to want to choose like a Disney cruise with kids and stuff. So you want to go to an adult cruise. And then if you look at the prices of cabins, those are not cheap at all. And then you're going to be doing a conference. So you're going to ask for a part of the ship. And that's got to be damn near. That's got to be expensive.
Well, I think obviously you need to look at the smaller boats. Maybe one of the 20, 30, 40 people boats, like a Mississippi River cruise.
Like a day cruise.
No, it'd be more than a day. Like there's Mississippi River cruises. I think they're like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
a little long. But I don't know how it would work on a 7,000 people cruise by any means. So I don't know. So
I'd also want to do a conference in Europe.
Yeah. Europe would be cool.
Kim wants to go to Ireland, so
Ireland would be awesome. Then I can go golfing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, no, I think it'd be, I think figuring out destination type stuff. Again, I like your size cruise or your size conferences for the travel conferences. I think it'd be hard to do with a 200 people conference.
Yeah.
At least you'd be paying so much money for outside AV and video. People have no idea how much AV and video cost.
Yeah, they get you good.
It's nuts, especially if you don't have any. We're pretty good with spring training because we have most of our own. But if you're relying on the hotel, that could be $20,000 just right there.
Yeah,
audio video stuff. So then that's one of the things you got to look at when you're doing the traveling roadshow type of thing. So
yeah, because it's harder to do. Like Elizabeth found that taco truck for that one
Mhm.
Thunder Bay, and that was awesome. But Vegas, they're like, you get your food out of here. You're paying us for food, and lunch is $6,500. And you're like, I don't know if I really want to provide you guys lunch.
$6,500 per lunch,
Yeah.
not total. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Last year was beyond crazy with what we spent on the event. So we're looking at doing things a little differently, but I don't want to sacrifice because we always do provide lunches and we cover speaker rooms and we do a really nice welcome reception because we want to make sure people really feel that they get a lot of value out of it. So,
well, you guys take a lot of front end risk too, and you guys know me. I'm cheap, and Dory's probably cheaper than I am, so we're not doing that. So you get what the ticket prices pay for it. We're not trying to make $1 gajillion, but come on, we're not.
Well, I think
we're not taking out. What did you take out last time? Was $30,000 loan? Yeah,
no,
that ain't happening. Yeah, I'd be beside myself right now in a corner sucking my thumb if
well, that's what I mean. A month out, I was having to take a drive every day and listen to Joe Dispenza just so I could function. And it's just but it is a lot of risk and it is a lot of I mean the only year we really made any money was the digital when we did it with COVID. We switched to digital. That's that was more of a blessing than a curse, obviously, at least for us on the conference side. But I think every year, like I said, that's one reason we had to get out of Scottsdale. It was getting more and more expensive. And when you look at the conference as a whole, $350 a night for a hotel isn't something you can sell a lot of general admission tickets for.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that we looked at, and that's why it took us a little bit longer this year to come to terms with the hotel, because room cost was the big key, and the room block. I didn't want to get stuck with 80 freaking rooms
per night.
So it's just all this crap people don't realize that you have to go through when you plan these things, and now we're at a. Last year we dealt with the Hilton, which Hilton's not bad, but the DoubleTree side, is that DoubleTree?
Yeah.
The DoubleTree side was hard to deal with. So this one we're in I think it's a Crown.
It's Crown Plaza, and it's owned by Marriott.
Yeah, and it seems to be so. Right in downtown Chandler, there's like 40 restaurants and bar right around the walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the reason why we did that is just to save us and everybody money.
Yeah.
Get them out of Scottsdale. Scottsdale's not suffering by any means, so they're not. There's no competition for prices in Scottsdale.
Yeah. One bedroom house in Scottsdale is like $1 million, so no, they're all right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I'm looking forward to
the plaza, right? So if the plaza is that's $6,500 for a lunch. Which is a lot. And then if we just don't have to take sales and we can't buy everyone lunches, well, guess what? The plaza is right across the road from Fremont Street, where and there's all kinds of restaurants and everything are right there. So it's not the end of the world. It's not going to hurt the value of the experience.
No, I don't think so at all. Especially, the good thing is you are close to restaurants. Pasadena was a little bit of a pain in the ass when you had to go. When you had to go try to find lunch, and In-N-Out Burger took you, 20 minutes to get to, and you only had an hour to. So, but yeah, as long as keeping stuff close by that people can go do. One of the things that we're not going to do a lot of this year is Elisabeth really tries to cater to different diets, and you're talking over 100, 150 people. That's a pain.
Yeah.
Hey,
at what point at scale, it's not scalable to do that.
Yeah, so it might sound better to go out and find your own place that has your kind of food, whatever. But anyway, so I'm super excited about Vegas. Looking forward to send me some of your email scripts. I talked to you about that before. because we're going to start to do it, promote it to our email list. I will say one thing, Elisabeth will probably kill me right now, but anybody that buys a ticket and mentions this podcast over the next
What?
days, I'll give you a free general admission ticket.
What? Dude.
I'll do a one.
No, sir.
One.
No. Somebody mute him. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. No.
Just mention this podcast, buy the ticket, and then I'll give you a free general admission to.
No, sir.
No, but if you need to upgrade, you got to do your own upgrade. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Of course, let us know. Reach out if there's any help you need about the conference or whatever. I think we're coming in Sunday. We're driving in Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I want to do the VIP thing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, and then you have obviously Skylar and Brandon as your little gophers if you need them.
Yeah, I told Dory about that. She's excited.
Set up boys. So
you need to get him a staff T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Lime green staff.
Pink.
That'd be better. Yeah, Pepto-Bismol pink. So. Anyways, thank you for joining us, everybody. Like and share and do all the stuff that we ask you to do to help us grow. Clint, it's been a super pleasure. I can't wait to see you again in about 3.5 weeks. But reach out to us if you guys need anything at all. So thank you, everybody.